3 euro ya. Bunları saklarsın.
Live çıktım ya.
He? Çıktı mı yayında?
Yok çıkmadı.
Bebeklerine de giydirirsin bak onlara. Bak şunların güzelliğine. Bak.
Güzel de ben ne yapayım onu?
Bak.
Ama ne yapayım onu?
Bebek şeyi. Şunlara giydir dedim. Neyse ver.
O kadar büyük hayvanım yok ki.
Büyükten değil de kalsın. 3 euro.
Model.
Bak babanın dediği çanta bu. Ya buraya bak. Kaldıracağım.
Welcome to boring minutes of slow as shading of a single eye. Good.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are finally drawing James from Cordis. I am literally obsessed with this reference photo like. That asymmetrical side-eye wink is insane, but low-key a nightmare to proportion. Grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get into it. What I love most about Cortis as a group is how they curate this entire underground, dark R&B world. It's not just about the music, it's a whole visual identity. They have this effortless, moody aesthetic that makes you feel like you're caught in a late-night trance. Every time they drop something, the art direction is so intentional. And it heavily inspired how I wanted to tackle this piece. This close-up is exactly where that gaze comes to life. That asymmetrical side-eye wink is just pure charisma. It gives off this confident, effortless mood that completely defines his role in the group. If the shadows around his eye and the corner of his mouth aren't pixel perfect, you totally lose that intense signature James look. With digital art, it's so easy to just blur everything out. But I wanted this to look raw, like a traditional sketchbook page. If you press too hard with the pencil here, it immediately looks muddy. So I'm barely touching the screen and just building up the depth layer by layer. But let's talk about James, because his charisma is literally insane. He has this signature gaze that just stops you in your tracks. It's that perfect mix of mysterious and intense. Like he's looking right through the screen. Trying to capture that specific energy digitally is so intimidating. Because if you miss his expression by even a millimeter, you lose that entire heavy, captivating feeling that makes everyone obsessed with him. For the face, I went all in on the hatching details this time. Since the contrast on the photo is hitting so hard, the shading had to be precise. Look at the left cheek right under the wink. I'm laying down these super fine, parallel lines to catch the shadow from his hair. This close-up is exactly why I spent ages on the lips and eyes. James' mouth is slightly open here, and if the shadows and the corners aren't pixel perfect, the whole expression just loses that intense, moody vibe. Getting the wink to not look distorted took so many redraws, but we got there. Moving on to the rest of the piece, I really wanted the chaotic, messy hair to balance out the sharpness of his eyes. Cortis always gives us that raw, unpolished, but highly stylized look, which is honestly a staple for James. It's all about creating a mood that feels intimate, but distant at the same time. That's why I kept the clothing and the line work a bit looser, to keep all the focus on his expression. For the drawing itself, I wanted to bring out that dark K-pop aesthetic purely through pencil hatching. I spent so much time laying down fine, raw lines on the face to capture the dramatic lighting. His hair is a whole mood. It's super messy and wild, so I blocked out the deepest shadows first before adding the fine, stray strands. Even for the shirt, I used a looser hatching style that follows the fabric, keeping everything textured and authentic, rather than just blurring it out. Moving on to the hair, and oh my god, the hair was a mood. His style is so messy and wild. The rookie mistake here is trying to draw every single strand perfectly. Instead, I just blocked out the big, dark shapes for depth first, and then came in at the very end with a fine brush to add those stray hairs so it actually looks alive. For the shirt, I kept it pretty loose. The hatching follows the flow of the fabric, but we didn't want it stealing the spotlight from the face, so it's giving minimalist. For the background, I wanted to keep it super minimal and clean, so it wouldn't overpower the portrait. I decided to spell out Cortis by distributing the single letters organically around the empty spaces of the drawing. It adds a subtle graphic element that anchors the piece to the group, but stays completely low-key, so all the focus stays exactly where it belongs. If you ask about the brushes I use, honestly, the secret isn't even a crazy custom pack. I'm literally just using the standard Echidna and Scopus from the default Procreate sketching set. It's all about how you play with the opacity and pressure. And that's the final piece, trying to translate James's crazy charisma and the Cortese world into a digital sketch was such a fun challenge. So yeah, here's the final look. If you vibe with the process, smash that like button and drop a comment on who I should draw next. Thanks for hanging out. See ya. Happy comeback week at me. With 80s finally dropping golden hour. just exported this entire project without adding the white highlights to their eyes. It's crazy how adding just 2 tiny white dots completely changes an expression from looking empty to looking intense and completely alive. I wanted to give this a very raw, traditional feel, so I built up the skin shading using a lot of detailed cross-hatching. Staring at the same 2 faces for hours gives you massive artist blindness though. I kept zooming in to perfect the skin texture, and honestly, halfway through, I couldn't tell if the proportions were right anymore. Pro tip for any digital artists: if your eyes start failing you, just flip your canvas horizontally. It's terrifying, but it saves lives. I used their iconic photo from Vogue as my reference. But to match their legendary Fans Immunity nickname, I decided to put a creative twist on it. I changed up their clothing colors and added matching nose bandages to create a playful, gritty Tom and Jerry red and blue theme. It gives the original reference a whole new partner in crime energy. And here are the final results. By changing the colors and finishes, we went from a matte vintage look to a pure grayscale monochrome and a super deep dramatic edit. The dark blue version is my personal highlight, but I want to know your thoughts. Which of these 5 colorways fits them best? Let me know in the comments. Keep streaming the new album, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. Today we're drawing the absolute king of artistry himself, Taman. This piece was actually a completely spontaneous 24-hour sketch challenge I set for myself. I really wanted to try out a new app called Sketchbook Pro on my iPad Pro to see how the brushes feel compared to my usual setup, so I just dove straight into it. I'm starting out here with the basic outlines and trying to map out his proportions. And listen, we always say trust the process in the art community, but I need to be completely real with you guys right now. While I was sketching the base details here, the mouth looked so incredibly cursed. I literally peed myself laughing because it looked so weird and out of place on the paper. I almost didn't want to show this ugly phase, but it's a real part of the process, so enjoy the chaotic sketch before the shading saves it. If you know me, you know Taman is my absolute ultimate bias. His artistry is just on a completely different level. The way he moves, his concepts, his stage presence, it's unmatched. What fascinates me the most about him is how he embodies this crazy duality. He has this incredibly soft, sweet, angelic self off stage. But the second the music starts, he turns into this sharp, lethal, mind-blowing performer. He's just so crazy handsome, but in a way that feels totally ethereal. Honestly, he is so Gemini-coded. That dual identity of being a gentle angel one second and a dramatic, powerful artist the next is exactly why he's such a muse to draw. While I was working through all this intricate pencil hatching on his face, I was already brainstorming what to do with the rest of the canvas. The second I looked at his reference photo with that headscarf, a vision of a high-fashioned Gucci runway popped into my head immediately. It has that exact high-end editorial aesthetic, where male models wear these beautiful, fluid, floral patterns and silken headpieces. So even though his actual reference photo has a simpler scarf, I decided right here that I wanted to completely transform this into a luxury, wallpaper-style floral concept. Now you might notice a sudden jump in the video soon. I actually didn't manage to record the coloring phase or the background process for this piece. Sometimes you just get into the creative zone and forget to hit record. But to be completely transparent, I hit a massive wall with this piece. No matter what I did, the final background design and the color palette just looked completely off to me. I was losing my mind. So my mother actually stepped in to save the day. She helped me finish up the final rendering, balancing out the background layout and getting the colors to finally click together. It was a total team effort to get it past the finish line. And here's the finished piece up close. Seeing the sharp line work of the floral motif contrast against the soft pencil textures on his face just brings the whole concept to life perfectly. The hot pink pop on the scarf against the white and blue peonies gives it that authentic Gucci vibe. Thank you guys so much for watching me navigate the ugly sketch phase to get to this final piece. Let me know in the comments what your favorite team and era is, and don't forget to hit that subscription bell so you don't miss the next drawing vlog. See you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. I am in such a massive creative flow right now, so we are jumping straight into another painting. This one is incredibly special to me because we are drawing Tiemann from his Want era. If you've been following my channel, you already know Tiemann is my forever, ultimate bias, but it all started completely by accident. Back in 2020, I was just casually browsing Pinterest, looking for reference photos, when I randomly stumbled across this absolutely Prince-like photo of Tiemann from the Want album. Right here, I'm working on the main layer, fixing up the color balance, and using fine pencil strokes to build realism into his features. I'm building up these darker shading layers to give his face more depth and capture that intense, magnetic expression. I wanted the overall mood of this piece to match the sleek, luxurious aesthetic of the music video, keeping his gaze calm but completely mesmerizing. Speaking of his gaze, I really want to talk about why the Want choreography is so legendary. Tiemann's dance style in this era is the absolute blueprint for how to be intensely seductive without being loud or over the top. It is all about extreme subtlety. The choreography doesn't rely on huge, aggressive power moves. Instead, it's driven by precise, fluid body rolls, sharp isolations, and incredible physical tension. I actually tried something a bit different with this specific edit because I really wanted to show off this insane choreography alongside his seductive gaze. Honestly, throwing a live clip into an art video is so Gen Z coded because I know we all need little distractions to not get bored immediately, but I love it. Of course, it's my favorite edit I've made yet, which is only fitting since it's my favorite Teeman era. I wasn't into K-pop back then and literally didn't know a single thing about it. What a grave mistake, I know. But the second I looked him up, saw the music video, and heard that pulsing synth bass, I was completely pulled down the rabbit hole. Painting this now feels like a massive full circle moment. As we move into finalizing the background and adding the highlights to his clothes, I decided to go with this intense red and yellow palette to mirror the album artwork. I also wanted to add a special touch to this piece by replicating his official Want album message and signature right onto the canvas. It really bridges the gap between the concept photo and the raw energy of the album release. And here is the final piece up close. Zooming in on his eyes and the texture of his hair, you can really see how those fine pencil layers paid off. Thank you so much for hanging out in the studio with me today while I gushed over my favorite era. I'd love to know in the comments what was the exact song or music video that introduced you to your ultimate bias. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next speed paint, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys! Hello! Welcome back, friends! To truly understand the heart of this piece, we have to start at the very beginning of the concept. As the video opens, you are seeing a few photo shoot pictures from SHINee's iconic Odd era. This project is deeply rooted in Jonghyun's creative world. Before his stage performance starts, the text on screen introduce the deeper narrative. These are fan translations of excerpts pulled from Jonghyun's own novel, Skeleton Flower, alongside poignant fragments from his interviews where he discussed the book. I chose to feature these translations as the true foundation of this video because they set an intentional, emotional atmosphere. He spoke so beautifully about things that are present but invisible and how we cope with the things we carry. By grounding the opening in his prose, the drawing becomes more than just a portrait. It turns into a visual conversation with his literature. This specific look of Jonghyun's with the striking white hair paired with the odd-eyed contact lenses has always been my absolute favorite. There is something incredibly magical, pure, and almost anime-like about his appearance during this time. He possessed this captivating, handsome look that felt entirely ethereal. And I knew I wanted to channel that exact, otherworldly energy directly into this digital portrait. As we transition into the actual drawing process, I want to address a quick technical challenge with this edit. When you export a standard time-lapse from Procreate, the resolution is quite limited. To make the footage fit a widescreen 16:9 format for this video, I had to scale the recording up, which unfortunately stretches the pixels and makes the quality look even lower. Back then, I didn't know how to make the time-lapse recording 4K instead of HD like I do now. Because that scaling completely muddies the hours of work I put into the fine lines, I decided to embed crisp, high-quality, full-resolution close-ups right next to the stretched time-lapse loop. This way, you can still follow the workflow step by step without losing the true sharpness and depth of the details, as they form on specific key elements in this drawing. The shortened live performance of Skeleton Flower is about to start, And this is where the audio and visuals truly begin to synthesize. The skeleton flower, or Diphylia gray, famously has delicate white petals that turn completely transparent when drenched in the rain. Zhang Yun used this phenomenon as a heartbreakingly beautiful metaphor for hidden sorrow, vulnerability that only shows itself when times are heavy. In the portrait, I mirrored this concept by weaving clusters of these blooming, glass-like petals right over his lips and across his shoulders, making the flora look as though it's physically growing from his emotions. Bringing it back to his styling, the contrast between the softly rendered white hair and those distinct odd-eyed lenses acts as the ultimate anchor for the drawing. One eye remains warm and natural, while the other holds that sharp, pure, magical gaze, perfectly capturing that delicate balance between what is visible to the world and what remains hidden beneath the surface. To wrap things up, the ending is the final side-by-side transition, showing the evolution from the initial line art sketch to the fully rendered digital painting. This piece was drawn in December 2020. Thank you so much for taking this time to sit with the process and share in this tribute to his artistry. Before you go, let's first hear his beautiful ethereal voice in this emotional ballad. Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. I am in such a mess.
Welcome to Boring Minutes of Slow As Shading of a Single Eye. Good luck surviving. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. I'm basically
Ein frisch geputztes Bad riecht so gut. Bis zur nächsten Spülung. Nutze Febreze Bad. Mit einem Klick aktiviert, ohne Batterien oder Strom. Febreze Bad bekämpft Gerüche und hält jetzt noch länger für bis zu 60 Tage. So duftet dein Bad immer wie frisch geputzt. Febreze Bad. Für Frische rund um die Uhr.
Hey besties, welcome to the channel. It has been a minute, but today we are diving into a cozy art blog. I'm working on a new drawing today, and it feels so good to be back. My entire K-pop journey actually started back in 2020 because of one single picture I saw on Pinterest. It was a picture of Taemin, and the second I saw it, I was completely hooked. I looked up his music, fell in love with his sound, his artistry, and the incredible creativity of his concepts, even if I couldn't understand a single word I was hearing at the time. Fast forward to now, and I've been standing him for roughly 5 years. Taemin is officially my ultimate bias, and SHINee is my absolute favorite group. I draw Taemin constantly, and I never get tired of it. My family and my friends are probably completely sick of seeing his face on my sketch pads by now. But hey, they aren't into K-pop, so they just don't get it. Only the fandom truly understands. Before 2020, I used to just draw general illustrations that had nothing to do with K-pop, but it had always been my dream to promote my art. So I started using Twitter to post my drawings of Taemin and SHINee. My art was liked by many people, and even though I didn't gain a massive following, I didn't care. I was just there for the community, the music, and my friends. I kept that up for about 2 years before I eventually decided to step away from the fandom drama on Twitter. Between 2020 and 2023, there was so much Taemin content coming out. He was posting so many vlogs, and they inspired me to try making my own edits. I started creating stage compilations, funny vlog edits, and music video edits. And that's how this old YouTube channel was born. That era is exactly when I fell in love with video editing. Looking back at those old edits now, I honestly still really like them. Sometimes I watch them and ask myself how I even managed to edit like that back then. But that's just how it goes. You always learn, you forget, and then you have to relearn things all over again. After that era, by the end of COVID, I actually took a massive break and quit everything, including drawing. I fell into a totally different phase. This year, in 2026, I finally got my creative spark back and started drawing again. I felt this sudden pull to get back to drawing K-pop, drawing Taemin, and sketching other idols. Like I mentioned, promoting my art has always been a dream of mine. But I've always struggled to make it work on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. I tend to question everything I do. In the past, if I didn't see immediate progress, I would just get discouraged and quit. This time, I am determined to make my wish of promoting my artwork come true. I don't need to be famous, but I truly want to be a content creator. My goal is just to build a decent, supportive community on social media where I can share my passion and my love for art with others. I just want my work to finally be seen. Where I live, no one is into K-pop or this style of art. Everyone has their own tastes, so my art doesn't really connect with the people around me. I know you guys are out there somewhere, and I hope that through these videos, we can find each other and build a beautiful little family. I want this to be a space where you can share your own journeys with me too, whatever it is you do in life. I'm determined that I won't quit this time. I don't know if I will ever fully succeed, but I am going to keep trying and putting my art out there. I really believe that if I keep pushing, the universe will reward me someday. While I opened a brand new YouTube channel this past April about my digital art using my iPad and Wacom tablet, I just couldn't let go of this first channel. At first, I thought about going back to K-pop edits, but things are different now. I might post occasional filler edits if I run out of art content. But my real vision for this space is traditional art. I want to share my pencil drawings, my oil paintings, and my raw, messy journey with pen, paper, and brushes. I've always wanted to create vlog-style ASMR content, but it is so much harder than editing a digital speed paint. I'm not used to editing this kind of footage yet, and to be honest, I'm still a bit too shy to show my face on camera. Maybe one day. And for my first vlog, for my first piece back on paper, I just had to sketch Taemin. I mean, who else, right? It was definitely a challenge, though. I haven't touched a real pencil or a physical piece of paper in almost 5 years. I got so used to the convenience of drawing digitally, but it is just not the same as a real pencil on paper. I deeply missed that tactile feeling. I want to share everything with you, from starting my very first sketchbook to attempting fun art challenges, maybe drawing for 7 days straight, a 12-hour sketching challenge, or just committing to 30 minutes a day. We might even create some oil paintings together soon. Let's see where this new chapter takes us. Let's talk about the actual piece I'm working on right now. The reference is from one of his most stunning photo shoots ever. I think it was for Elle magazine, where he is wearing pearls and just looks completely ethereal and angelic. I absolutely love pearls, so I knew we had to tackle this photo together. I started out with the outline, and no lie, it took me absolute ages and a massive chunk of my lifetime just to get it looking decently like Taemin. I really hope I got his likeness down. After the outline, I moved on to laying down the base layer of shading. I like to shade the entire skin area gray first, which gives me a foundation to build up depth using cross-hatching, slowly pulling out the 3D form with highlights and shadows. In today's video, you're mostly seeing me perfecting the main features like his eyes, nose, face, arms, and fingers. In my upcoming vlogs, I'll be sharing the middle stages, the deep rendering, the shading, and the final highlights. So definitely let me know in the comments what kind of challenge or drawing I should take on after this one. Before you click away, I have a little surprise. While cleaning up my room the other day, I stumbled across 4 of my old pencil drawings from 5 years ago. The first one is a fully finished portrait of Taman from the era that first introduced me to him, drawn entirely with Faber-Castell Polychromos colored pencils. The next one was inspired by his Never Gonna Dance Again criminal era. I fell in love with this reference photo because of his messy white hair, the colorful shirt, and that slightly childish bad boy vibe. But I only managed to finish the face before it totally fried my brain. I haven't touched it in years, and honestly, I'm kind of terrified to pick it back up now because I don't want to ruin it while I'm so out of practice. The third drawing I found was that negative invert challenge sketch, but I really don't like how it turned out. The last one actually has absolutely nothing to do with K-pop. It's a portrait of the gorgeous model, Barbara Colvin, and I drew it entirely with a standard ballpoint ink pen. In fact, I'm pretty sure I drew this while sitting at work out of pure boredom. I think it turned out pretty decent considering the tools. And that brings us to the end of my very first vlog. I truly hope you enjoyed this style of video and want to share this new creative journey with me. I'll be posting here every single week on Fridays, so please look forward to the next one. Any support means the absolute world to me. Please comment below and tell me about your own creative journeys, or share any tips on how I can improve this channel. Don't forget to check out my second YouTube account for digital art, as well as my TikTok and Instagram to see my other pieces. Thank you, besties, and see you next Friday. My digital friend Gemini looked at me and my digital Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have officially chosen violence. I am letting Pinterest completely dictate my life and my art. The rules of this challenge are simple, but dangerous. I open the app, I go into a specific category. Today we are doing animals, and I have to draw the second picture that pops up on the feed. No refreshing, no cheating allowed. So I hit search, and of course, look at this. It's a white crow because a regular dark feathered bird isn't hard enough. Pinterest decides I need some rare creature today. Fantastic. I slap a 3-minute timer right on the screen and we're off. The panic is real. Right now, looking at this footage, my brain was in pure survival mode. 3 minutes is nothing.
That you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And of course, because I'm incompetent, the lens decides to go totally out of focus. So I am sitting here sketching and thinking I'm doing great. Meanwhile, you guys can't see a single thing because it's just a blurry blob. I didn't even notice until it was too late. I am so done with it. You're just gonna have to use your imagination for this part. I mean, look at this line work. I am constantly flashing my eyes back and forth between the screen and my paper, just trying to make sense of these angles. Let's be real, I am completely out of my element here. I am so not used to mapping out animal features or bird anatomy, and my brain is struggling to translate it. But the ironic part? Birds are literally my absolute favorite animals, so I refuse to just give up. I'm looking at the reference, looking at the page and crying inside. Wow, Look at that masterpiece. It is literally just an outline. It's totally giving minimal effort, but hey, rules are rules. But wait, the agony doesn't stop there. The second part of the challenge is that I now have 10 minutes on the exact same sketch to actually turn this outline into real art. You'd think 10 minutes is a long time compared to 3, but let me tell you, the pressure is even worse because now I actually have to make it look decent. I'm throwing down lines left and right, trying to give these feathers some texture. But honestly, the vibes are just rancid. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. My hand is moving fast, but my brain has completely left the building. I'm looking at the eye of this crow, and it looks like it has seen strange things. It's judging me. I'm judging myself. At this point in the recording, I am actively realizing that this drawing is a lost cause. My usual style takes time, okay? You can't just rush the cross-hatching process in 10 minutes and expect it to look elegant. It just looks like a bunch of aggressive scratches. It's just getting worse and worse. I absolutely hate it. Look at this thing. It's a complete disaster. My motivation just plummeted straight to -100. Into the trash bin it goes. Bye. Never want to see you again. Since the traditional Pinterest challenge was a total embarrassing failure, we are pivoting. I need a redemption arc. So, welcome to my POV drawing digitally. You're looking at my screen now, but to make things spicy and keep the challenge theme alive, I decided to let AI choose my fate. I asked Gemini to pick my reference photo and decide the medium I should use. Big mistake. Huge mistake. My digital friend Gemini looked at me and decided to choose good old James from Cortez. But of course, it couldn't be a normal, serious portrait. Oh no, the AI chose the specific picture where he is literally sticking his tongue out at the camera. Majestic. Truly a masterpiece of a reference. This is going to be a nightmare to render digitally. And as if the picture wasn't enough of a jump scare, the AI told me to use charcoal for a grayscale drawing. Bro, I never use charcoal. If I touch real charcoal in real life, I suck so incredibly hard that I end up painting my own face, my arms, and my clothes way more than the actual paper. It's a literal biohazard. Doing it digitally is a bit safer, but the texture is still so tricky. You probably noticed this by now. I actually worked on this drawing off camera for a little bit. Why? Because I flat out refused to embarrass myself a second time on camera today. My ego was already bruised from the crow. I needed to build my confidence back up in secret, figure out the blending, and make sure James didn't end up looking like a goblin before I started recording again. Okay, but seriously, can we discuss how I completely butchered the camera positioning here? I mounted my iPhone on the tripod, looking from an above-the-tablet view, thinking I was a genius. The thing is, I placed my tablet on a diagonal tray, which tilted the whole screen downward and gave us this absolutely hideous angle right here. Tell me how you feel about this shit angle, because I hate it. I'm so useless. I swear I knew I was clumsy, but I didn't know I was this stupid as well. Bear with me, guys. I promise I will correct my mistake in the next video. Honestly, just for the sake of making content, I even went out and bought myself a brand new camera after this, because during this recording session, I nearly lost my current older camera completely. Thankfully, the glitching and flickering you see weren't permanent, and it's working how it's supposed to work now, but bro, I would have been so devastated if it died. Once I gained some faith that this might actually turn out good, I finally turned the camera back on. Right now, you're watching the detailed rendering part of the process. It's obviously not fully finished yet, but we are at a solid 60% done. I'm working on the lighting, refining the shadows around the eyes, and trying to make that tongue look, well, as realistic as a tongue can look. Honestly, after the crow disaster from earlier, I will happily take this. It's funny how a change in medium and taking away the ticking clock can completely change your mood. Art shouldn't always be a race, but sometimes these challenges are a good reminder of what your boundaries are. Clearly, my boundary is drawing birds in under 10 minutes. Highlights really do save every single drawing. You can see right here the proportions are finally starting to look three-dimensional, and the whole portrait is suddenly coming to life. But let me tell you, drawing the tongue and the lips with charcoal, absolutely brutal. It was so challenging trying to map that out. I really hope I got his proportions right, but I definitely still need to work on that tongue a bit more in the next session to make it look way more realistic. Thank you so much for sticking around through all the chaos, the failures, and the AI bullying today. If you like this type of unhinged, overly honest challenge video, please feel free to subscribe and drop a comment down below. Honestly, despite all the trauma, it was actually so fun doing both of these crazy art challenges. I am low-key down for more, and I can definitely visualize these kinds of challenges becoming a staple for this channel. Ultimately, I still want to grow as an artist, even though I love sticking to my usual style and the things I'm comfortable with. I really want to use this space to try out new things and push my abilities in different mediums and concepts even further. This channel is my playground for that. Look out for next Friday's video. I might finish this James from Corty's painting, or I might finish that time and pencil drawing from last week's video. Let me know in the comments which one you want to see finished first. And before you go, don't forget to check out my main digital art channel, Oezzynur.Studio. Over there, I share everything about my digital artworks you saw in the intro. This channel right here is more of my honest artist vlog. It's a safe space where I can share a more transparent approach and show you the vulnerable, messy, and sometimes failed parts of the art process. Love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye!
Yeah, 누가 뭐라든 my way, to me on my face, filter spit me no, oh, oh, oh. 유리 가면 속에 미소 가려두려 see you being as a loss, oh, oh, oh. Hey you, 네 멋대로 보내 해야 나를. Hey you, 입맛대로 보러대는 말. 혀 끝을 이리저리 유로 길이 do you never get the keys to my life. 더 참신하게 상상력 좀 발휘해봐. 네가 줬던 토로소를 벗어대 난. I should don't wanna face. 내가 네 손을 보는데 넌 나를 잘 봐. Hinterlässt die morgendliche Hektik Chaos in der Küche? Es wird Zeit für Meisterproper. Sprühen, wischen, fertig. Ein kräftiger Sprühstoß, ein müheloses Wischen und du bist fertig. Für ein glänzend sauberes Zuhause, in das du gerne zurückkommst. Greif zu Meisterproper, sprühen, wischen, fertig.
그거 진짜 좋아요. 시리얼에 비타민이 함유가 많이 돼 있어요. 제가 진짜 거짓말이 아니라 감기나 아프질 않아요. 잘 이게 몸살이나 이런 게 잘 안 걸리는데 그게 비타민을 잘 먹어서 그런 것 같은데 비타민도 챙겨 먹고 시리얼도 근데 시리얼이 진짜 맛있는데 영양소가 진짜 많아요. 진짜 맛있는
시리얼을 먹어요. 여기에 비타민이 진짜 많이 들어있어요. 하루 열량에 대한 거의 80%가 넘어요. 이건 그래서 건강 때문에 먹는 거예요. 건강식. 아, 흘러. 깨끗해. 맛으로 먹는 게 아니라 맛이 없고 나는 어른이라서 이런 거 알래 안 먹는 거.
얼마나 맛있게요. 잘 뜯어야 될 것 같아요. 이거 잘못하면 다 터지겠네요. 먹어보도록 하겠습니다. 들리죠?
요새 살 진짜 많이 쪘어. 몸무게 한번 아, 나 너무 못났다. 시청자 여러분들 밖에 돌아다니지 마시고 실내에서 미디어 성장하시면서 신앙생활 하시기 바랍니다. 미디어 성장
맘과 달리 섰던 욕심을 빼고 조금만 천천히 서두를 건 없어. 나를 아껴줘 부서지듯이 좀 더 나게 다시 날 울려줘 tonight. 숨을 쉬듯이 거칠게 말야. 섬세한 나의 손길로 just a little 나를 연주해. Stay here with me baby. Stay here with me baby. 절벽 같은 너의 말을 열어. 닫고 불을 꺼도 사라지지가 않아 내 뒤를 따라 걷는 너의 기억 마지막 네 모습이 떠올라 날 따라와 자꾸 비웃는 듯해 Oh, you're like a shadow Yeah 두 눈에 가득히 빛을 뜨거운 기운 겁내지 말고 맞춰봐 누군지 날 맞춰 내 흐름을 맞춰 누군지 날 맞춰
도망쳐줘.
Oh yeah 우아해 말해 시대를 creep 이성이 만든 작은 투명 본능을 타고 자라 깊은 곳에 핀 꿈이여 들이킬수록 아파도 날 내버려둬 내버려 놔도 후회 속에서 나도 널 그리도록 내버려 놔도 우리의 마지막인 줄도 모르지 끝까지 널 이기려 들던 나였었지 돌아보면 별거 아닌 자존심이 뭐 그리 대단했는지 그렇게 We were just two kids, too young and dumb 어리고 멍청한 서툴렀건만 화가 나 조용 날 이설었던 그날의 너와 나 잡아주길 바라면서 밀어냈었고 미안해 그 한마디 얘기하는 게 Two kids, too young and dumb 모든 걸 견디며 달라졌을까 너와 난 내맘 같지 않던 모든 것에 헤어짐의 일을 더 깊이 새기네 서로 미친 듯이 싸우고도 후회길 반복이 된 이미 지난 일들을 떠올리기도 해 이보다 나쁠 수는 없더니 그래도 시작은 좀 예뻤던 것 같아 네가 내게 남긴 모든 상처와 흔적들도 사랑이었어 지금도 We were just two kids, too young and dumb 어리고 멍청한 서툴렀던 맘 화가 나 조용 날 이설었던 그날의 너와 나 잡아주길 바라면서 밀어냈었고 미안해 그 한마디 얘기하는 게 Two kids, too young and dumb 모든 걸 견디며 달라졌을까 We were just too young We were just too young and dumb We were just too young and dumb 추억마다 입을 맞춰 하나씩 We were just too young and dumb Just too young and dumb 너와 난 two kids too young and dumb 어리고 멍청한 서툴렀던 맘 화가 나 조용 날 이설었던 그날의 너와 나 안아주길 바라면서 밀어냈었고 사랑의 그 한마디 얘기하는 게 Two kids, too young and dumb 시간을 견디며 잊혀져야 할 너와 나
Welcome to boring minutes of slow-ass shading of a single eye. Good luck surviving. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. I'm basically winging it and praying it doesn't turn out tragic. Don't mind my crusty hands. I'm hella broke. I'll come back next time with some proper TLC. If you're watching this expecting a professional tutorial, I am so sorry to disappoint you. Let me shut up for a sec. I don't know why I act like I'm qualified to explain anything. Half the time I'm just squinting at the screen and pretending I know what shadows are. This is basically an art TED Talk hosted by someone running on caffeine and delusion. Yes, real-time drawing is slow. Yes, I'm shading the same area for way too long. But the AT's remixes in the background are carrying the entire video, so at least you won't fall asleep while I suffer. And listen, AT's fans know the struggle. You start drawing one member and suddenly you're in a full emotional spiral about their lore, their visuals, their everything. I'm trying to take my art seriously now, even if my recording skills are attacking me. Guys, don't let me quit before I start. I'm low-key scared to post this, but before I hesitate, let's get back to AT's and this dangerously handsome man. I will talk about him more in a bit. You can literally see in real time how long it takes to make something look even remotely realistic. Finishing a drawing is basically an eternal side quest at this point. But since you're already here, staring at these endless pencil strokes, let's talk about the man himself, Choi San. There is something incredibly haunting about his gaze. When he steps onto the stage, it's like he undergoes a complete shift in reality. He doesn't just perform, he lets the music consume him, and trying to capture that specific, intense energy with a digital brush is honestly a form of self-inflicted torture. Because how do you even draw someone who looks like he's simultaneously summoning a demon and blessing your entire bloodline? His stage presence is so unhinged it feels illegal to pause the video for reference. Every frame is a new personality attack. 1 second he's soft and angelic, the next he's staring into the camera like he knows all your secrets. And here I am, trying to freeze that chaos into one still image like I'm not already fighting for my life. This is too much. I need a break. Anyway, realism takes forever, but not as long as trying to understand AT's lore. That thing has layers on layers. In the official AT's lore, they fight against a world that wants to steal their emotions, their voices, their art. And looking at this eye right here, I wanted to capture that exact moment of resistance, the quiet before the storm. A gaze that has seen too many dark nights, yet refuses to blink, refuses to back down. It's dark, it's moody, And it perfectly matches the tragic hero vibe he carries so effortlessly. Anyway, my hand is cramping. My eyes are fried and my brain is buffering at this point. But we actually made it through the eye. You are awesome, thanks. I'm gonna split this drawing into a few parts of my little art TED Talk. Once I finish the full piece and all the close-ups, I'm dropping a speed paint of the whole thing. And guess who's gonna be standing next to him? Stay tuned. If you survived this chaotic art rant, tell me in the comments which AT's member I should suffer through next. See you in the next one. Bye, please subscribe and comment.